Hi, this is Dave D from DaveD.com, where we help you close more sales, make more money, and help more clients, all without working harder and without having to spend more money on hit or miss advertising. Now, what you're about to watch is a sneak peek into an Inner Sanctum VIP Masterclass I'm releasing on August 1st. You're about to discover how to subliminally answer objections in advance, meaning before your prospect raises a reason not to buy. Please note that the only way to become an Inner Sanctum VIP is to first become a free D-mail subscriber. You can do that at www.daved.com. Now, enjoy the sneak peek, and if you get value from it, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'd love to read your comments and your questions as well. And I do my level best to answer all of them. So enjoy the sneak peek. Hi, Dave D here, and welcome to the Inner Sanctum Masterclass, Anatomy of a Seven-Figure Webinar. We have a lot to go over in this masterclass. First, we're going to do an analysis of my virtual client attraction machine webinar. Now, this has produced over 7 figures for me. Just last month, we did a webinar with a joint venture partner, which put $150,000 in my pocket from a single webinar. With another joint venture partner, the same exact webinar has produced $500,000 in sales in just 18 months. And then, of course, I do this on my own as well without joint venture partners. So we're going to be taking a deep dive into this. Now, just a couple things. One, because my lawyer wants me to say it, obviously those results are not typical. I'm not saying if you follow my advice, you're going to be doing a 7-figure webinar or be making that kind of money. I don't know you. I don't know your business. But I'm just going to go over exactly what I've done and how you can apply it to whatever it is you're doing, whatever type of webinar that you're doing. So the example that we're going to be giving is me selling an information product, actually an online course, but all of the principles apply even if you are using webinars or in-person presentations to book consultations. We're also going to take a quick peek at some of the joint venture marketing materials. I've given you a PDF of the emails, but we're just going to take a quick look at the landing page. We're not going to go over the emails because they're pretty self-explanatory, but you do have a PDF of those. After that, we're going to look at somebody else's webinar who followed my system and did a really great job. He's an Inner Sanctum VIP, and he's an attorney, so we're going to be looking at what he did right, and how he could improve it. And then on top of that, we are going to be talking about a single quote that I read recently that really, if you ponder it and you embrace it, it really truly could open up a door in your mind that would lead to your next level of success. So here is a slide that I use in every single presentation that I do, which is, this is my overcoming an objection in advance slide. So I know that one of the objections later on when I get to price is going to be the cost of the program. And so I want to overcome that objection during my presentation. And the way that I overcome the price objection, or rather the I can't afford it objection, is with this slide. So I talk about how I saw Dan Kennedy speak. He was selling this product. I didn't think I could afford it. But then I remembered something that Jim Rohn said. Now, a lot of people aren't going to know who Jim Rohn is. So I will say Jim Rohn is Tony Robbins' mentor. Tony Robbins actually sold tickets to Jim Rohn's events before he became the Tony Robbins. So I explained it. I put context around it. So now, if you've noticed, I've introduced Dan Kennedy into the presentation, which in the target market that I'm working with Arjon's customers, they all know who he is. Everyone knows who Tony Robbins is. And now I've introduced Jim Rohn. So now I've got these 3 figures who are basically endorsing what I'm about to tell them, which is successful people invest in themselves and their education. So the exact line that I use here, which is to plant the seed in the audience member's mind, that of how to answer so they can answer the objection themselves of I can't afford it. Basically what I say is I didn't think I could afford the program, but then I remembered something that Jim Rohn said. He said successful people invest in themselves in their education. And I knew that if I wanted to be successful, I needed to do what successful people did. So I went ahead and I bought the program even though I didn't think I could afford it. And that's the key. Now, when I get later on in the presentation to the price, if somebody thinks, man, I really want that, I know it's something that I need, but I can't afford it, that seed sprouts. The seed that I planted earlier sprouts, and they remember this quote. By the way, I wasn't telling them directly that they should buy something, even if they don't think they should afford it. Even if they don't think they can afford it. Jim Rohn told me that. You see the subtle difference there? Jim Rohn told me that. Now, there's one other thing I want to point out to you here. And this is an advanced strategy. And it's something that I do naturally now because I've been doing this for so many years. So you're going to probably need to be conscious of it. So when I do this webinar, I have my camera on so people can see me in the corner and they can see the slides. So when I talk about that I knew this was the product that I needed, what I do is I keep pointing to myself. I knew that this was the product that I needed. And I point to myself. I point my fingers to my chest. Because what I'm actually saying subtly to the audience is, this is what you need. I knew that this is what I needed. And I keep pointing to myself. And then I lay out this slide, which anchors the pointing to myself that people invest in their education. And I knew that I needed to invest in myself. And I'm pointing to myself, which is telling to the audience, hey, you should invest in me. Again, it's a subtle thing. And by itself, without all of the other psychic sales techniques and subliminal things that I do, without a good presentation and offer, it's not going to make a difference. But those little tiny subtle things make a difference.